Yo, have you heard about Anchor? It's the easiest way to make a podcast. Let me explain. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Welcome, everyone, to the L7C Podcast Wrestling Edition. Today, we are back with our wrestling expert, Mr. Jacob Mason. How are you doing today, sir?
I'm fantastic, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. There's a lot to cover in the world of wrestling, which we are going to cover all of the important things that you need to know, might have missed in these past couple of weeks since the last time we've been on. Jacob, man, let's go right. We're going to start with AEW. We're going to focus on AEW first, and then we'll transition to WWE. First off with AEW, which I think you've been calling for a while, that Hangman was going to become the new champion. And kudos to you, sir. Another one for you.
So Full Gear, which goes back to very long-term storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
So if you go back to being the Elite, the Full Gear thing, they were making fun of Adam Page back then.
Mm-hmm.
And now he wins it, which was awesome. I mean, I was happy as hell seeing that. The pay-per-view, all in all, I didn't like it as well as All Out. But that being said, it was still a great pay-per-view. It was still a great time. It was awesome seeing Adam Page finally hold that championship, hold that gold.
Yeah, I don't think anything this year was going to be All Out.
No.
So, which they're comparing themselves to themselves, so I understand that. But no, it was really good. It was really cool seeing him win. It was cool seeing him win instead of one of the new people who just got there, like a Punk or Bryan Danielson or like Adam Cole be the one to take it because Hangman's been there. So it was cool to see him win, cool to see all the responses. It was a good overall win, but him winning, Mr. 10 million belts, Kenny Omega, he's going to be gone for a little bit, right?
Yeah, so he's taken some time off. Apparently, he's been wrestling with an injury, which is kind of amazing considering how good his matches have been.
Right.
But he's taking some time off, which is fine. I mean, he ran as a champion for a good while. So sit back, take a break, let your jets cool, and come back, and he'll still have a massive pop when he comes back.
Right. And with Hangman, he already has his first number one contender, right?
Yeah, so Daniel Bryan is the number one contender for the for Hangman's title, which Daniel Bryan has been a straight killer on AEW. It's not nice Daniel Bryan. It's very mean Daniel Bryan, which is awesome. I mean, it's not like a gimmicky, snarky thing. Like, it's just it's being done very well. Where you have Daniel Bryan, who, when he came in, everyone, oh my God, it's Daniel Bryan, let's go. I mean, the hype train was real. And now the way Daniel Bryan has acted as a heel, you're like, fuck Daniel Bryan. I don't want him to win. He's being an asshole. Great. I mean, it's booking done right, booking done well.
Yeah.
It's been awesome.
It's kind of crazy, too, because, like, the people who might not have, because I don't think this side of Daniel Bryan was truly seen in WWE, because now he can be like a full-fledged heel killer, and he's doing very well. And I'm interested to ask for your opinion on how do you think that match goes?
I think you have to have Hangman Page one. You can't have Daniel Bryan one. You can't build that story up for years essentially to have him lose his first title defense. I understand it's Daniel Bryan and all that, but doing that would just, I think that's some like WWE hokey booking bullshit, and I don't want that. So it just has to be Adam Page.
When are they scheduled to go at it?
Next Wednesday. I believe December 13th. It's like their Winter is Coming show.
Got you. And with other WWE people who are there, big like, what's Adam Cole up to right now in AEW for the people who haven't been? I see that he is basically getting some undisputed reunions in AEW. So for the other people who haven't been seeing, what's been going on with Adam? Where's he at pecking order wise in AEW right now?
So Adam Cole is in the elite. I'm saying that finger quotes here. But he's part of the Super Click, which is an ode back to the Bullet Club when Adam Cole was in there with the Young Bucks, because that's who he's running with. He's been running with the Young Bucks. Pecking order, Adam Cole being Adam Cole, he thinks he's top dog when he's not. Like when Kenny said, "Hey, I'm going, like, keep an eye on things," Adam Cole goes, "Yeah, I got this, Kenny, no problem." Just kind of Kenny looks at him and goes, "I wasn't talking to you. Just talking to the Bucks." Which is great, because for the people who watch indie wrestling, there was an entire massive angle of Kenny and the Young Bucks and Adam Cole. Adam Cole, quote unquote, tried poisoning the Young Bucks and killing them. When the indies do this hokey shit, I like it, but when WWE does it, I think it's stupid.
Why? Just why?
Because it's WWE, and I just hate their bullshit.
Okay.
I've been known to be a little biased from time to time on this podcast. Anyways, going back to that, you end up having the whole thing of the Bucks turning on the Bucks and Kenny turning on Adam Cole, and it's just kind of cool because you're seeing old stuff be revised, but with a twist, and everything's more in the limelight now. You have this massive company backing it.
Right. I think, and then also at AEW, which is the promo heard around the world the past couple of weeks, was CM Punk, MJF. That promo, I know you've seen it. I've seen it. There was a lot of references, a lot of Easter eggs if you paid attention straight up. I mean, CM Punk called him a less famous Miz. Like, that's probably my favorite line of that promo. And with that promo, because it caught fire, Jacob, I think it's from the days where they trust you, say what you want, get it over, and here we are.
Yep. I mean, this feud coming in, this was someone I wanted to see Punk face off at some point. Not because of the actual wrestling match itself, should be fine and dandy. I don't care about that. I want the build up. I want these absolute killer promos and just tearing each other apart on the mic. I love it. That's what I want. I want this entire show, and I am sports entertained, to say the least.
MJF brought up how quickly Punk's UFC career ended. Like, there was some real freaking shots at each other. Like, and that's what the imagination thing of it too. Like, did you think, like, was this a shoot? Like, there was some, like, it had that blend. Like, wait, are they like, do they seriously not like they're throwing some real personal stuff at each other right now? It's like, no, that's what makes wrestling at its peak.
I have to imagine. The way I think it went down was probably Punk and MJF talking to each other and being like, "All right, hey, can I talk about your UFC career? Hey, can I say that you're just second-rate Miz or whatever else?" So I feel like they're probably like, "Oh, okay, yeah, no, this is on the table, this is off limits," and just go out and just have the promo. Because if you have two great mic workers do a scripted promo on each other, we're going to know about it and we're going to bitch about it.
Yeah.
That was done perfectly because people are questioning, is it a shoot? Was it real? Was it rehearsed? What was it? Nobody knows, but everybody's talking about it.
Yep. Everyone's talking about it, including WWE, because for the first time they've responded to AEW, because after that promo, I mean, Edge brought it up. He told Miz, you have other promotions talking about you, making comparisons. Like, I was like, well, maybe because it's Edge and he's a Hall of Famer and he's great, so he was allowed to say that. But I was like, oh, you just mentioned AEW CM Punk MJF promo, because any wrestling fan knows that's what he was talking about. So the crowd's like, oh, we had a shot, and WWE got a little more edgier that episode too, because Liv Morgan bringing up the people, like telling Becky Lynch she's the reason her friends got fired. Like, I'm like, whoa, now were you okay with those? Because I've seen some people in the stupid crazy family that were kind of in the internet wrestling community have issue with that. How did you feel about those promos?
Oh, I didn't. I'm all about it, because when wrestling feels real, it's good.
Yes.
If you can, especially nowadays, because you have, 8 million podcasts, including ours, talking about wrestling. You have everyone tweeting about it, posting about it on Facebook, Instagram. Everyone's talking about wrestling. Everyone knows the news as soon as something drops. When you can blur the lines, wrestling is good.
I agree. And going into that too with Survivor Series, which I think they did a poor job in building up, by the way. It just came. It's like, oh, yeah, Survivor Series is here. One thing which was real, I mean, I didn't like the ending per se, but Becky and Charlotte, I really want to know what really set them like to drift apart, because they don't like each other anymore. It's legit.
I don't know. I'm sure whatever it is, it's probably well deserved.
I mean, it all started. I mean, we saw it when Charlotte went rogue in that title exchange and threw it on the ground to make Becky get it like a freaking dog, and she didn't like that. And Charlotte getting escorted out of like the rings, keeping her away from Becky. Like Seth Rollins talking about it on episodes, everyone talking about it. Like, for that rift to happen, and then for still their professionals to be able to work together, that was a match I was excited for, because there was real heat between the two of them. But hey, maybe Becky is just like, you know what, Charlotte, I'm tired of you being like a 20-time champ. I'm sick of it. I'm like, hey, that's all of us. And
if anyone can get away talking shit about and or to Charlotte Flair, it's Becky Lynch.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because what are you gonna do to Becky Lynch? Fire? Nah.
I mean, the last one who really tried was Peyton Royce, talking about other people getting these title opportunities, give her a chance. She had her one title, and then she was gone. Title match, and then she was gone.
Yep.
But going off with Charlotte, since we're here, and we'll be jumping around, that's how we do it here. You saw Ric Flair's comment saying that Charlotte Flair deserves a Roman Reigns push.
Yep.
What the hell was your initial reaction to that?
I laughed. I just started laughing. For those who do not know, Charlotte Flair is how many times is she a champion if you include her NXT run?
13.
She's a 13-time champion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. How long has she been in the company?
20, because we actually did an anniversary episode for the Four Horsewomen. 6 years.
6 years. So over 2 point something a year. She's getting a championship.
Mm-hmm.
You're getting a pretty damn good run. I don't know how much more Roman Reigns-esque you could be like, considering you are the Roman Reigns of the female division.
I can make a case that Roman Reigns should have been asking for a Charlotte Flair run.
Easily.
Roman Reigns is only like a 4-time champion. 4 to 5, and Charlotte's 13. I think Charlotte's run's been better than Roman Reigns career-wise.
Yeah, I'd agree with that statement. They're both going to go and set records.
Yeah. So I don't know what he was talking about. That does he want her to have her own like head of the table and can say what? I mean, she already says what she wants. So it's like I don't understand what he was saying there. Just I feel like Rick was just throwing more hate towards his own daughter because Becky Lynch has had issues with Ric Flair. Here's a quote at one point about Ric Flair. This is a legend at one point. This legend is 16-time world champ. Ric Flair is now jealous of me. It's cool for me. Now trying to use me to get clout to promote whatever he's going on because he's dug himself into a hole with other things. And these were like quotes from Becky Lynch, not doing WWE stuff, like talking to Sports Illustrated and like in those off the cuff pod stuff. But it's crazy, man, that he really said that.
I mean, what else could you ask for? I mean, honest to God, if you are a wrestler in WWE, everyone wants to be like Charlotte because she's had the best wrestling push. She's had the most consistency in WWE. I mean, what else could you ask for?
The only time she's missed time is when that doctor
screwed up
saying that she was pregnant, but she wasn't. And when she had to take time off to fix her surgery on her breast. That was it.
I don't get it. Like, what else could you ask for?
She's already won the Rumble. She's won every title. Remember when she came back randomly with Asuka, won the tag team titles out of the blue. Then like they break up, it's like, oh, I'm challenging Asuka for the title. Like, there's nothing more you can do besides, I guess, have more main of. I mean, she had the one main event at WrestleMania. That's about it. And then this is my problem with her too. When she was asked about this stuff, and she said, if I was a man, this wouldn't be an issue. And I really had an issue with that because no, we are here right now. We bitch about Roman Reigns. I mean, every man who's had a huge, John Cena, everybody is just like, if someone feels like you've had a long title like reign and you don't quote unquote deserve it, or there's other people there, you're going to bitch about it. So that really kind of rubbed me the wrong way, saying just because she was a woman that people had an issue with it.
It's definitely not because she's a woman. No one gives a shit about that. It's 2021.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck out. If you have an issue with that, fuck out of here. No one cares.
13 titles in 6 years, that's too much. It's too much.
Yeah. Kenny Omega had a hell of a run with the title.
Mm-hmm.
Decimated people.
Mm-hmm.
Lost the title, taken some time off away from the camera to heal up, but also to cool down his character, because how long can you run with the title before it becomes too much?
Mm-hmm.
Good booking. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, and with Charlotte saying that stuff too is like, no, we could literally dedicate a whole episode to times where you should have done the favors and you won. And you have the power to say, no, I shouldn't win this. I mean, shoot, this past SummerSlam, she just takes the title off of Nikki Cross when Nikki just won. Don't get me started on the year that she just destroyed Rhea Ripley. And then the Tuesday before like WrestleMania, she just randomly takes the title off Asuka. Like, there's instances where it's like, come on, man. And I'm not, I mean, she's a great performer. She's reliable. I mean, she deserves what she has, but saying that like people bitch about you having titles just because you're a woman, that's ridiculous.
I hate Charlotte Flair. For me, it goes back to when, I forget which time she beat Asuka, probably like the 47th or something, and she won the title off of her
right before WrestleMania.
And she was out back crying like, I needed this, I deserve this.
Mm-hmm.
And I was just like, and it wasn't like a heel promo. It was just like her like legit crying. Like, the problem is everyone thinks Charlotte's entitled as fuck. Let's be honest.
Yes.
Ride your daddy's coattails. Hey, I get it. Your dad's Ric Flair. You're going to flare it up. That's fine. But don't come out here and scream that I'm not riding my dad's coattails like she's done in the past. I'm my own person. Well, then why are you coming out to a remix of his theme song? Why are you coming out to The Robes? Why are you literally copying? You do a modified finisher that he has. Like, you do the woo chops. I don't get it, dude. I don't understand Charlotte.
I don't. And it's potentially that I mean, I don't know if it's official or not. It was coming through like ringside news that her and Andrade might have split because Andrade, which is kind of crazy, like what you said in 2021. This is the world we're in. If someone unfollows you on social media, it means you're breaking up. So I don't know what's going on there. I don't think if anyone would address it first, it'd be Andrade or Ric Flair. I don't think Charlotte will, but that'd be kind of crazy.
Becky Lynch to address it.
She might, because when Andrade got released, I mean, she was filing other wrestling trademark names, given that initial scare. Like she might go with them, but hey, to each their own. One more thing from a woman's thing. Sasha Banks, who another 4 horsewoman, which I actually really respected this quote from her about Ronda Rousey, who another person who, just came in. It's like, oh, I want to earn the respect of the locker room and then won the title in like 2 months. Sasha talked about it. She was like pissed off that Ronda Rousey could come in, get more money than her, get a bigger locker room than her, and bring all these people backstage to get more time, like family and friends than her. And she's like, excuse me, who are you and what do you do? Which I know we've talked about it with part-timers outside of recently, shout out to Bad Bunny, who just come in and they get all this treatment and then the full-time talent gets pissed.
I can understand. I understand exactly what Sasha Banks is saying. Mm-hmm. And I'm not even a massive Sasha Banks fan, but I agree with 95% of what she's saying. I do understand why she's making more money than you. You might not like it, but she is more popular than you. She is going to bring more eyes to the product than you. That's just the business.
Yeah, at that point in time, I 100% agree. Now, fast forward, I mean, she's in The Mandalorian now, so she's getting Disney. So Sasha's fine, but at that time, 100%. I agree with you.
And hey, if she can work it out in her contract to get her own private locker room that's bigger, hey, you make a contract every year or however many years, put that in your next contract. Restructure your contract. Do what you got to do to make things happen. If it bothers you that much, I understand why you're pissed off, but I also understand the business side of it.
I agree with you. One more thing, just swinging back to Becky and Charlotte. I'll never forget this, where this is building up to Survivor Series, how Charlotte literally said, there's nothing natural about Becky Lynch. And Becky tweeting, did Charlotte just say there's nothing natural about me, all caps? That's brilliant. And everyone's like, oh, the comments just went to freaking town on that. But Jacob, man, go ahead.
Don't go to Twitter war with Becky Lynch.
Yeah, you really don't.
Becky will win because Becky don't give a shit.
Yeah.
That's why people like Becky.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. With Survivor Series, last thing, the only other thing from that pay-per-view, 2 other things. One, Randy Orton not now having the most pay-per-view matches in WWE history, and a couple of days ago breaking the Raw record for most Raw matches. That's wild to think about, man, because like Randy Orton, he's always been there. Like the only time he was really gone is, when he was having his drug issue and got that taken care of. He's never really left for Hollywood at all. Dude, he's been a constant. And I feel like, obviously, like the knock on Randy is you could tell when he cares and when he doesn't care. But like, he's been a constant, and not just in WWE, but in the wrestling world, man. Like, especially that summer where his RKO, like YouTube videos of him just popping up, that was gold. Like, salute to him, man.
Oh yeah, for sure. You nailed on the head though. When Randy cares, it's obvious. When he doesn't care, it's obvious. Mm-hmm. Like this whole like RK Bro thing, you can tell
you called that too.
Genuinely enjoyable, and it's great to see, because a lot of times, and it's kind of one of these things where Randy's so good, he can make things look extremely boring, depending on the match if he likes it or not. Mm-hmm. Sometimes I absolutely hate Randy Orton.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes I think Randy Orton is just one of the best people ever. Mm-hmm. comes down to what mood is he in that day, or if he's shitting in people's luggage.
Yeah. I 100% agree with you. The only other thing from Survivor Series is we all knew that Roman was going to beat Big E, but Big E showed me, like, they gave him a stage and he showed me some things. I'm not going to lie. I watched that match. We already knew what the result was going to be, but I was like, good for you, man. Like, you showed you're a worthy champion. My favorite spot from that was when Roman was in the corner doing his little ooh-ah thing, and Big E just walked up to him like, what's up? And then Roman was like, shit. But those were the only main points from that. And how are you feeling about Big E as champ? Because there's this video going out of this guy. I don't know if he's with Ringside News or Sportskeeda, but he was basically tearing into the internet wrestling community, saying Big E's been a good champ. Like, he's a good baby face. The crowd loves him. Fans love him. He's doing all these tours. He's been promoting big college football games, big boxing matches. But the internet wrestling community is not rocking because we've been programmed to only like anti-hero people. Which, what do you think about Big E and what he was saying about, like, nowadays people just don't like a generally good baby face?
I like Big E as champion. One of the main reasons I like Big E as champion is because it's different.
Yeah.
We're not getting the same cookie cutter bullshit champion, a la Roman Reigns, a la Charlotte Flair. Big E, we all wanted Big E to win years ago. We're like, let the guy do his thing. He'll do great. That guy's completely right, though, with the whole, like, we like anti-heroes. We do. We grew up. I mean, I know me and you grew up watching Stone Cold Steve Austin, watching The Rock. These guys played both good and bad guys, but when they were good guys, they didn't take no shit. They dish out just as much stuff to the heels as the heels dish out to them. So, because in that video, that guy also said, like, we were like spoiled with the Attitude Era.
Yeah,
it's true. Honest to God, it's true. And that's the biggest downfall to wrestling, especially with the internet wrestling community. Wrestling was so good, and we remember it with such, was it like rose-colored glasses? I think that's what the saying is. That everything else is going to be shit compared to that. Nowadays it's a little different because for the longest time we just had WWE. That was it. Now you actually got AEW. TNA is actually worth a semi piss, and you have New Japan, all that stuff. Everything has more access now. Big E as champ is great. How can you not like Big E? I don't understand that.
Me either. And it's the fact too that the dude's doing the work, man. Like, we're here sharing videos like, oh my gosh, he was just pumping up like the Big Ten championship or this, that, and you're saying like, oh my gosh, he's here doing the thing for like a Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder fight. Like, the dude is doing his job. And first of all, also when he was doing those things, those are on freaking Fox. So what the hell was Roman Reigns doing? That's supposed to be his network. Go promote your shit. Anyway. But yeah, man, that video was really like just making me sit back. Like you said, man, we were spoiled because we grew up in that Attitude Era, and like the good guys was what you wanted from like a good guy. Even people older than us who everyone has it, terrible bosses you wish you could just hit them with a stunner. That is why Stone Cold will resonate forever, because everyone's going to have a terrible boss that you just wish you could come in every other Monday and beat the shit out of them. It's the truth. That will never, you could be like, hey, this guy's thing was he always took it to the boss. No one can not ever relate to that except a boss.
Yeah.
Like, you could walk in, you wish you could just walk in, flip your boss off, stunner him, drink some beer over him, and leave. But you can't do that in the real world. That's why Stone Cold will resonate forever, because he gave people that escape.
Yeah. Something else, when you were talking about like Big E doing the Big Ten stuff and like doing the Tyson Fury stuff. I know how hype I was when I seen Big E doing like the promos for the Tyson Fury fight. It's so cool as a wrestling fan. I'd be like, oh shit, there's the dude from the show that I watch.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how can you not like that? You were literally trying to get more people to get into this business or get into this community. Like, I don't understand how you could not like that.
I also think too that with every great thing WWE does, it just gets you more mad because you're like, it proves that if the machine's behind you, they can get you to promote this. Like, they can get you places. So it's like, why weren't you doing that for other people? I understand being like the reliable people, like the ruthless aggressionary, like Cena, and like sending him out to everything. But if you're able to send Big E to all this stuff, why couldn't you send other people who needed more shine? Shoot, The Miz was just on Dancing with the Stars, got like 9th place. Like, that's my thing too. Like, why aren't you promoting other people like that? Because for a time it was Roman Reigns. I mean, it still is Roman Reigns, 4 horsewomen, when mostly Charlotte. It's mostly Charlotte, but the 4 horsewomen with Ronda, Bad Bunny was here. It's like you weren't promoting that. I feel like they weren't promoting Drew as much as they should have. Because I mean, I think Drew was a fantastic champion. Like, that is a champion I was proud of during real COVID era where there was no fans and he was carrying that company. So it's like they pick and choose who they push like that, and that kind of pisses me off.
Yeah. And you can take people that aren't being used, and WWE can get them on some sort of TV show.
Mm-hmm.
Why aren't you doing that?
And he also did the Breakfast Club, and they were talking about like one of the, I think it was Angela Lee, the female host, said how she likes like Bootio cereal, and she had no idea that was Big E cereal. And like she had no idea. Like, he was done, like, obviously when he came, he was WWE champion, but it's like, oh my gosh, yeah, I love that cereal. Like, we've had it before, and this and that. Is like, they have so much things that they could really utilizing, but I'm right. You're right with the internet wrestling community spoiled and all of that. So spoiled when things get tough, they just bring back Brock Lesnar for the umpteenth time to fight Roman Reigns for the umpteenth time, and Sami Zayn getting screwed. For a second, I was like, wow, Sami Zayn's going to get a real title opportunity. Then he gets screwed, and we have Brock and Roman again at day one, because there is no December pay-per-view in WWE, which is weird, but they're having 2, quote-unquote, in January with, yeah, I mean, like you're already going to say, Brock Lesnar, notable name by casuals and wrestling fans, brings a lot of money, and he still has the ability to come and, someone's literally going to get their ass kicked, which is enjoyable to see, but it's Brock. He shows up once every 2 months from him, Minnesota or Canada, wherever he's living now.
I got to say this much. The promo that Brock Lesnar and Sami Zayn had was my favorite Brock work I've seen since him, R-Truth, and Paul Heyman were in the ring together.
I agree. It was very different. It was very, okay then.
Brock on his own, just being a face and just having fun. I'll take that, Brock. Mm-hmm. I will take that, Brock. And if you keep that, Brock, I wish they would just keep him away from the title.
Yeah.
I'd be so much cooler with that. But I from a business standpoint, I understand. I don't have to agree. I don't have to like it as a wrestling fan, but I get it as a business guy.
As a business, as a wrestling expert on a podcast, looking through like, I gotta see how this is working. But yeah, man, day one, which whatever the hell type of pay-per-view that's gonna be, it is what it is on that. We can go back to that later.
Let me ask something else about the day one pay-per-view.
Mm-hmm.
Why does the logo look like a big Kmart ad? I literally looked at that logo and thought, like, Kmart sponsoring this? Because that's exactly what it looked like to me.
Well, I don't even think most Kmarts are gone. So it's like,
that's what I thought.
So I don't know who's sponsoring this, and it's just like, it was weird, man. Like, I'm like, why does this pay-per-view exist? Oh yeah, it's terrible. Day one, but I don't care. Once we get to January, it's going to be picking up picking up our season again because we're going to Rumble, which means we're going to be here a lot again. So that's exciting.
Oh, yeah.
But let's go to NXT, man. War Games was just recent. But before War Games, we're going to talk about Johnny Gargano. He will be talking tonight. I think his contract's up as of tonight. I think he's going to be walking away. I don't know if he's going to be signing with anyone relatively soon because I think he's going to just be like there for Candice because this is their first child that they're going to be having. So I feel like he really wants to take some time away for that. What do you think?
Oh, I think he's staying.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I think he's staying 100%.
What changed? I thought you thought he was leaving.
Initially, yes, I thought he would be leaving for sure. The problem is during the lead up to War Games and during War Games and all the promos about War Games, all had to deal with Johnny Gargano and them being very open about like, yeah, this might be my last time. Yeah, this might be, I don't know if I'll be back. Blah, 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 blah. They kept talking about it. If he was actually leaving, that shit don't get talked about. When Adam Cole left, they didn't talk about it.
True.
Do I think it would be dumb for him to stay? 100%, absolutely.
Man, okay.
No one's got that money like WWE does.
Don't.
Well, I guess the cons do, but
I was gonna say don't say that because they unfollow. They'll tell you they'll release you saying because of budget cuts.
Right. But I just don't. They talked about it too much for me to go, oh yeah, he's gone. Because me and my wife were talking about it during War Games. She's like, you think Johnny's going to? I'm like, they're just talking about it too much. They wouldn't acknowledge its existence.
I agree.
If he wasn't staying.
I really just think he's. Man. I know he just wants some time away. I think honestly because of the future child coming and being there for Candice. Now, will we see something after we record like, oh, he just signed a deal? I mean, we always have something, but I see where you're coming from. I really do now thinking about it because they were promoting it a lot.
Yeah, I mean, it could be one of those things where he goes, I just need some time away, I got some options I need to think about. Thank you guys, blah, 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 blah. And he's just going to go and hang out with Candice and their kid, which, as he should, 100%. But then he'll just pop up randomly and he'll be back in NXT. I don't see him going to the main roster.
No, he's not going there. What did you think of War Games? It was weird having no William Regal say War Games.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Yeah, me either.
Also, I didn't like how bright and vibrant War Games was. Like, seeing War Games should be dark and dingy and just gritty looking and all that. But, bright, vibrant colors, which just doesn't work. I still can't get past it. But War Games itself, some matches I thought were better than I expected them to be. Some matches were worse than I expected them to be. It was NXT takeovers are not NXT takeover, or NXT takeovers of now are not NXT takeovers of old. I don't get that super hype feeling of like, oh shit, takeovers coming out. Like, oh, we got plans. Like, no, cancel those plans. We're watching War Games, or we're watching Takeover. We're watching whatever. Those pay-per-views used to mean a lot. I just feel like it's watered down now.
I do too, and I truly believe it's the fact that Triple H has been gone, and it's the fact too that we didn't know he was gone until like a couple months ago. It was like, oh yeah, he had a car. I was like, no, man, just say it. He had a heart attack. Like something happened. Like and so he's been gone all this time, which Sean's been there holding it, and obviously like Vince and them. But I feel like that's been a main problem, not having his voice there, and also the talent. I mean, NXT has good talent, but Shoot, literally a year ago, the whole Undisputed Era was at War Games. Now it was just one person.
This was the first War Games where Undisputed Era wasn't like in the match.
Yep.
Which was odd.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. It really is. So, and I also, some booking did make sense to me. I know you didn't like her, the skateboard girl, the 20-year-old.
What the hell's her name? Jenna Cade
Jenna Cade. I didn't like that she Toxic Attraction. You should be making them like the Undisputed Era, and they should just be smoking everybody.
Should.
I mean, I don't think she's going to win the title anytime soon, but it's like that made no sense for your champion who Mandy's worked extremely hard to rebrand herself, that you have them lose their first War Game match. That was stupid. The men's one, I did get hyped when I saw DI. I did get hyped when they hit that. I was like, oh, this is really going to be Johnny's last match. They're going to send him off. And then, NXT 2.0 run, and Scott Steiner's son's going to be the face of that thing in the next couple months.
Yeah.
Which is kind of crazy saying that out loud.
Right. Yeah. Steiner's going to be running a WWE brand. But no, it's not a Steiner.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I do find it funny with Braun Breaker.
Mm-hmm.
Which, why the hell would you call him Braun? Considering you just got rid of one.
Jesus. Yeah. I didn't think of that. Wow.
Yeah. But you're going to call him Braun Breaker, who looks just like his dad, who's a Steiner brother. And he's wearing a singlet, which looks just like the Steiner brothers singlet.
Mm-hmm.
But he's not a Steiner brother. Or he's not a Steiner. We're just going to completely ignore the fact that he is obviously a Steiner.
Oh, they're trying to, rebrand. Like, they don't want him to be riding daddy's coattails.
Yeah, but then why are you wearing the singlets like that?
I know.
Why are you wearing your facial hair like that? Why are you looking the way you look? That's your biggest downfall. If you want to pave your own way, I'm all about that. Mm-hmm. Go ahead, kick ass, do that. But for the love of God, why the hell are you wearing what the hell you're wearing?
No, I agree, dude. I 100% agree. But, when he gets called up to WWE, they're going to randomly, that's going to be his first storyline. Like, this is the son of former WWE superstar, and they're going to, so that's why you should care about him.
Here's the question. Are they going to rename him Braun or just Breaker?
I think they should.
Which name is he losing? My wife was asking that.
Oh, he's losing Braun. They're going to call him Breaker.
Breaker with 2 Ks because he's edgy.
Yeah, it's the Breaker, guys. Like, that's what it's going to be. Oh my God, it's Breaker. Like, that's what it's going to be. He got the pin, though. Good for him.
He did get the pin. And you know what? To his credit, when everyone else came out for the NXT 2.0 group,
mm-hmm.
I was so underwhelmed by all of them. Except for Braun Steiner son Breaker. Like, literally, like, the one guy's wearing boxing shorts, boxer, the North American champion, what's Dan, what the hell's his name? Carmelo Hayes.
Yeah,
so Carmelo Hayes looked good. The Italian guy, I don't even remember his name. But the guy who's got the absolute terrible, gimmicky, I'm Italian, hey, type bullshit. Like, I laughed my ass off seeing that, and not like in the funny way. I'm just like, this is some stuff I literally watch at my local indie show up the road with some guy who wears a cheap ass suit and goes, hey, I'm Italian. Like, whose gimmicky bullshit idea was this? Like, where's Jim Cornette when I need him now?
Oh, Lord, not Jim. No.
I was so underwhelmed by it. I'm just like, these guys look like nothing. I mean, also, holy shit. Can we talk about the lock and chain that they did for Braun Breaker when they locked out the cage? And he was the one who clearly was like cutting it, but not cutting it.
Yep. That was bad.
I mean, You remember when Kane just ripped the door off the hinges back in the day?
Shout out to Mayor Glenn
Hell
Jacobs.
Yeah, shout out to the friggin' man, Glenn Jacobs. But that had an impact. That look, it was done very badly. The camera angles are very shit on that. Yeah, that was humorous. I was laughing at that. Not in a good way.
Yeah.
It was bad. Johnny's outfit was sweet. I mean,
That
that was another
sweet.
thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was all take on all his, for those who didn't watch it, it was all his other takeover gear basically combined in the one, which was super cool. Because he always has a sweet outfit for takeovers.
Yeah, that was good.
So I'm going to say something here on the L7C podcast that I have never said before.
Okay.
All right. We're going to talk about the women's NXT War Game match for a second here. Blandy McBlanderson, Raquel Gonzalez.
I was going to say, you have to tell some people who you call that. I think that's our first time listening.
I'm not a fan of Raquel Gonzalez, for those who do not know this.
Mm-hmm.
But her trash can spot was creative as hell. And good job, Raquel. I actually like the spot you did. I'm not even calling you Blandy. Good job, Raquel. I'm semi-proud of you.
Hey, at the L7C, man, we're fair when it comes to wrestling. If we don't like you, you'll know. But when you do something cool, we'll give you your props. Doesn't mean we'll change if we like you or not, but we're definitely going to give you your props.
Because I'm sorry to interrupt you, buddy.
Oh, no, I was going to say we're fair, just sometimes biased towards some people.
Yeah. Some of us are biased. I don't know about it. But for those who did not watch War Games, Raquel Gonzalez picked up and put Dakota Kai in a trash can, then grabbed the trash can and started spinning it around and hitting people with it. I've never seen that before. I thought that was super creative. I thought that was probably my favorite spot of the entire women's match.
Agreed.
That or Jade, whatever that Kate or Jane Kate or whatever the hell her name is. Yeah, Mrs. Skateboard, who about fell in her entrance of skateboarding. Which, let's talk about that for a second.
Oh, Lord. It's crazy she's only 20, though. That's wild.
Okay, she's 20, and that's awesome. So, and she was actually in AEW. She did a few dark matches with them.
Why didn't they keep her? Didn't see enough?
I don't know. I have not the slightest idea. But so she came out on her entrance, which is like a punk skateboarding gimmicky thing that she does. Okay, how do you have a gimmick and you're going to do something? Shouldn't you practice doing something?
Yes.
Because she came out on that skateboard and damn near busted her ass.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I had to text you guys, make fun of it first. Then I had to go to her Instagram. They'd be like, well, is she actually a real, like, does she actually skate? Because she skates, she's definitely just nervous. It is what it is. She doesn't skate. There's never been like a picture of her holding anything skateboardy at all. So if you're going to play the part, you should practice the part or just not do it. Just don't. Just walk out there. Use your skateboard as a weapon. Call it a day. Don't skate.
I agree. A couple more things before we wrap up. Just two more things, really, actually. So WWE creating the next in line program for their name, image, and likeness. They're hopping into name, image, and likeness, like all the college things. So now they have constructed a comprehensive program to recruit and develop potential future superstars by looking at college athletes and be like, hey, we'll pay you X amount to promote our stuff too. And if you're interested in coming to WWE, you can come up. Their first person who has a name, image, and likeness deal was heavyweight freestyle wrestler Gabe Stevenson, who captured gold at the Tokyo Olympics. The agreement allows Stevenson to return to the University of Minnesota for his senior season, where he's defending his NCAA title while beginning his superstar training with WWE. So you could be training with WWE while in college and still do your college stuff. And they're going to unveil their first class of name, image, and likeness partnerships in the next coming weeks. It's a real smart. I mean, I've not this two things. One, super smart business move, because since they don't want to do indie wrestlers anymore, they want to get people who most of them may not even know how to wrestle or don't even like WWE, just like the money. Teach them their way to wrestle. So that's the only way they know how to do it. So smart on that. The other thing, where the hell did all this money come from when you just cut almost 100 people this year because of budget cuts? So where'd this money come from?
From the budget cuts.
All right, moving on. So, I have no retort to that. I have no retort to that. All right. Moving on. So today, got this article from Ringside that Nick Khan most likely to replace Vince McMahon in WWE. And at first I was like, who the hell is Nick Khan? And then he is one of the big presidents of the company. And I'm like, what the hell is this? He's the current president and chief revenue officer of WWE. So he's just about making the money. Jacob, man, I was kind of shocked seeing that because I always thought it'd always be like Stephanie and Shane who get it, or Triple H, I thought was always the best option. So what do you think about that?
These are all rumors.
Yes.
Alleged.
Yes.
So you got that out there. That being said, fuck Nick Khan. I'm throwing it out there right now. Fuck Nick Khan. If you have been pissed at WWE for the past year and a half,
he's the reason.
He's the reason.
Yep.
Him and Vince McMahon are the reason you are pissed off.
Yep.
Why are all these releases happening? Boom, Nick Khan. Yep. Why did NXT turn to 2.0 and got like all bright and vibrant and bullshit? Nick Khan.
Yep.
The only good that could possibly come out of this is the fact if Khan would actually take over for Vince, then we're getting a full-blown Khan versus Khan wrestling war between Nick Khan and the president of AEW.
Tony Khan? Tony
Khan, thank you. Couldn't think of his first name.
Yeah, my only thing with this is like, it's interesting because this dude has no wrestling like background or whatever. He's just their business about the money. Obviously, WWE, they're cutting these people making record profits, so something's happening. As a fan, do you want someone? I guess it depends on what type of fan you are. Because if you're a huge wrestling fan, you want people who understand wrestling, grew up in wrestling, love wrestling, running wrestling companies. You don't want these freaking suits coming from like Wall Street doing it because they don't get it. And then we get crap on TV. Now, if he's smart and if this does happen and he keeps like a Triple H and all of them around and he is just a figurehead because he ain't going to come on TV and take a stunner. But like, and then have the wrestling people run the wrestling stuff, then we can see something. But if he comes and tries to be like Vince, hands-on and everything, make booking decisions, oh, hell no. Oh, hell no. That'd be Downfall USA. Literally,
it would be
on USA.
I think it would be the equivalent of back when ECW was a thing. The real ECW, not the WWE reboot of that shit. The real ECW. ECW really went to shit when they got a actual television deal and all the suits wanted them doing it a certain way and didn't want this brutal style, which was the only thing that made ECW.
Yep, I agree.
And for the short amount of time I've known Nick Khan on a non-personal level, he's done nothing but piss me off. So I don't want it. I want WWE to succeed. I want AEW to succeed. I want every wrestling company to succeed. And I want everyone to be firing on all cylinders because that is best for business at the end of the day.
Yes.
So as much as I shit on WWE, I want WWE to just be awesome. Under this guy's stuff, yeah, financially, it might be awesome for a time being, but that's a short term. Long term, you're going to end up losing.
Oh yeah, you will. You will. Which he sucks. Like that's all I could say on that. Like he's terrible. Like that's it. That's it. He's terrible. Hope he doesn't. I hope this doesn't happen. It's all rumors. It's like most likely. Don't even see Vince going anytime soon, but we'll see on that. Last thing, Jacob. 17-year anniversary of the first women to main event of Raw, Trish Stratus and Lita. And then literally to the day, the main event of Raw was Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan. There's a new meme going around of the angry Liv Morgan fan, which is great, about how she was pissed at Liv. Now we have another one with her and Miz, angry fan. Hopefully they follow this girl for a bit and we see what she looks like all grown up in the future, where she's like, yeah, I remember that day. But something cool that the two GOATs, Trish and Lita, 17-year anniversary, getting respected by WWE, having women main event on Raw. Jacob, anything else, man? It was great to be back.
Yeah. Sorry for the delays. We're not Mr. Consistent is not as consistent as he used to be.
It's all right. January's coming. That's Rumble time. We're gonna be here, man.
But yeah, that's it. We're about to hit our busy season, which I can't wait. The road to WrestleMania, like I said earlier, as much as I shit on WWE, I do get excited for this time of year because the Rumble's coming up, and that's
going to be a shit show. Dude, I have no idea when we do predictions. I have no idea who's going to win.
Oh, yeah. Which, hey,
that's what makes it great.
Yeah. Oh, it's not predictable this year? I mean, depending on how you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
I know who I'm taking in my pick right now. Blind pick.
Ooh, okay. All right. Already?
Should I throw it out now? Or
it's up to you, man. This is your episode.
Oh, God. Blind pick right now, Rock.
Whoa. Hey, man, last year I believed in you. You threw out Daniel Bryan. I picked Daniel Bryan, and he lost. I was really pissed. I was really pissed. So you're saying surprise number 30?
Could be. Could be surprise number 30. Could be surprise number 1. No, he wouldn't do number 1. No, it'd have to be 30. 27 or 30. Yeah, I think Rock, because I'm still sticking with the initial storyline of Rock versus Roman at Mania.
Okay. All right. You can't add anything more on that. You got to end it there. Thank you, everyone, for listening to the L7C podcast. It's great to have Jacob back. It's almost January, which he said the road to WrestleMania. You guys take care. And Nick Khan, don't do it. This is the L7C signing out. Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.